Hello and welcome to our Let's Play series of Hearts of Iron 3, their finest hour as the Soviet Union. This is episode 4, and I am Ardwolf, your host. It is currently the 27th of January in 1937, and we have made some quite nice progress. Let's take a quick look at our production before we settle in here. This all looks fine. We're going to start the clock. And we have no reason not to move the clock quickly in 1937. Historically, of course, the Germans invade the Soviet Union in 1941, so we've got a lot of time here. Assuming that goes off historically, which it isn't guaranteed to do. Unit import supply, I don't care. So these are our units in Vitebsk, I think we said. Vitebsk. Vitebsk. Which we relocated from the East Front. Fighter targeting focus advance. Let's see if we have to punt that off. We do. Let's look at the supply map mode. Cuba has canceled our trade agreement. Of course, this at the time is extreme capitalist Cuba, not communist Cuba. Let's go to the political map mode here. We need to take a look at this. I'm gonna put that there. What do we got here exactly? Not much, and nothing that's useful. So let's relocate the HQ to the back. So 1939 is when we would historically want to launch the Winter War. So the Finns got quite a bit of stuff here, actually. So we're going to need some tanks. Let's take a look at the supply map mode, actually, because, oh, this is terrible. So basically, we don't have a lot of room to break through. We can maybe try up here, actually, but there's a whole lot of bad infrastructure going on. Yeah. Zero infrastructure in a lot of this northern Finland, which I expected, so I'm not like shocked by it. But let's look at the VP map mode real quick. Let's start the clock while we do this. So Vitpuri. So what we need to do, Republican Spain declared war on their new enemy, nationalist Spain. Actually, CA's fighter training advance. Let's take a look at that. Kick that off. We have a national decision available. Spanish Civil War intervention. Now, this doesn't cost us anything, so we might as well use it. And it increases our relationship with Republican Spain in the rather unlikely event that Republican Spain wins the Spanish Civil War, and they probably won't. So, Germany has pretty much the same event to side with the nationalists. These are the Baltic states. We're going to need another unit right here. Actually, you know what? We don't need these units right here. We'll move them there. Since that isn't even a front. Put this guy here. We're going to need to conduct some reorganization on this. Go to theater map mode here. Yeah, that's what I thought. So that looks fine. For the time being, more units, which is probably infantry. That needs to stay where it's at for now. Move these guys back a little bit. Start the clock again. We made more progress in the last episode by a lot than we did in the previous 2 episodes. So. Just in terms of running the clock out. Let's take a look at production. Let's take a look at our supplies here. Our supplies are pretty bad. Alright, so we got lots more infantry. Come in, some air, and some tanks. The same stuff we had before. Ooh, descent's high. Let's kick that up a little bit. This is actually lower than it was. The need for consumer goods, that is. Let's actually make supplies for a while. I actually haven't been making supplies for about 4 or 5 months. So... And frankly, we need the IC elsewhere. Let's take a quick look at that. Well, at least infantry are cheap. What do we got here? Finland has canceled our trade agreement. Yay. Ground crew training, we need to get rid of that. What we don't want to do is have these things that we don't have any intention of developing right now cluttering up the list. We have very little leadership to blow, so... And when do we got stuff coming? June. So, I mean, we have a fair number of units here. But to be honest, it's nowhere near enough. And they tend to be, I mean, the Russian units, especially now, tend to be pretty low quality. So, I should say Soviet. It is the Soviet Union, not Russia. It is improper to call this entity Russia at this time. Russia is, of course, was, of course, and still is one, well, it's independent Russia now, but it was one of the Soviet republics. Switzerland has canceled its trade agreement. Don't really care too much. Let's take a quick look at intelligence, because I want to make sure I'm maintained. Ooh, no, we are not. So what do we got in France? We have 33 covert ops points. I'm going to try a coup in France. It's almost certainly going to... it failed. Oops. Oh well. It was worth a shot, I guess, just to fool around. We're going to go back to intelligence and de-emphasize France. Because we can't afford the spies right now. Let's take a look at this. We're getting a... let's increase this a little bit. We want about 1/4 of a spy per day. There we go. Let's lock that in there. Officers are, I think, a little higher than they were, but we're eating a lot of officers. The Hindenburg disaster. The Hindenburg blows up in, I think, upper New York State or something like that. Or New Jersey, actually. Sweden is aligning itself with the Comintern. That doesn't mean anything. Sweden will try and align it with somebody else, itself with somebody else soon enough. Nationalist Spain has canceled our trade agreement. There's a surprise. They're not happy with us. Tibet has taken steps to align itself to the Comintern. That's sort of interesting. Not of any particular value to me. If we look at the political map mode, we're going to see... let's take a look at that. Fix that. Get rid of that. We still need 30 research here. What do we got coming off? June, June, June. Quite a bit in June and July. So that's good. Tibet is down here. Political map mode. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I don't have any kind of border with them. Xinjiang is actually kind of a special case. We need to look at them real quick. Need to look at Xinjiang, and that's these guys, and they are drifting to the Comintern kind of hard. And what we don't want to happen there is for Xinjiang to end up an Axis country, because if it does, then it opens up this front, and the Japanese can drive in here and create problems. We don't want that. Battlefield interdiction. Yep, that's a staged advance. Get rid of that. And we're in June. Switzerland has canceled our trade agreement. There's a shock. Interdiction tactics advance. Let's fix that. So we'll call that done. Start the clock again. I wonder if we have anything new coming available. Logistical strike tactics. Let's get rid of that. I wonder if we have anything new becoming available as far as national decisions for 1938. I don't know. Industrial production and industrial efficiency, good. We needed those. Let's look at that, actually. Industry. 1936 and 1936. Yeah. Wow. We're kicking those to the top again. And furthermore, we're adding advanced construction engineering, and we're moving that up to close to the top. Yeah. We'll move it down a little bit. And let's look at that supply. Is that under theory? Supply transportation. We want that. You want supply organization. Civil defense repair rate 5%. Yeah, we probably want that too. Rocket science. Historically, actually, the Russians were actually pretty good at rocket science. In World War II, that is. We all know what happened later. We need blitzkrieg. We need mobile warfare. Yeah, maximum speed for HQs, breakthrough 5%. We'll need that. We probably could wait on that, but I'm not going to. An operational level organization. We actually just pulled that off. Special forces, partisans. Ooh, partisans. Mountain troops, marines, engineers, and guards. Yeah, we need that. I didn't think we needed that, but we need the guards. We need large front, at least 3. We're working on it. There's only so much we can do. Switzerland has aligned themselves to the Comintern, as Switzerland and Sweden and historically neutral powers tend to do. Means nothing. Installation strike tactics. Ditch that. We're up to 34 again. Actually, let's take a look at our infantry technology. Yeah, this is all 38. We do need this infantry technology, but we're going to wait. Okay, let's see here. So remember that we are going to fight, if all goes according to plan, we are going to fight the winter war with Sweden, or not Sweden, Finland, before we go to war against Germany. Now the Nazi, so let's look at infrastructure mode here. Okay, we don't care about Amelia Earhart. It has no effect on the game. It's just like a color thing. Supply map mode. Yeah, there's not much anything else up here we can really do anything with. Here's some more infantry though, and that's always helpful. What do we got here? 4 infantry divisions, which is good. Okay, we'll move this guy back 1. Move this guy back a couple. Which means we want to put infantry here. We have actually an armored division here, amazingly enough. So in those places where we have HQs on the front, I want the HQs pulled back. We'll move this HQ back here. And we'll move this HQ here. I'll move this infantry division up. This HQ can go back here. Put this guy here. And this, of course, is one of those cannot be supplied due to low infrastructure. Looking at the theater map mode, we can't even move into that territory. That looks fine for now. Drop this guy here and start the clock again, and more infantry. That's okay, we can't have too much. So, and we're gonna pull these HQs off the front here. And we're going to need some armor up by Finland, but we do have some armor coming eventually. Look at production again. Supplies, we need 26. Consumer goods, we need 99. We got 100. We got about 1 more. Let's keep that there for now. This aircraft is expensive. Don't be shocked if we get some more units or out of supply messages here. Agriculture. Yugoslavia has canceled our trade agreement. We don't really care. Looking at industry. Where is agriculture? 1938. Increases manpower. We don't need any more agriculture. Where's education at? November 7th. Not quite there. Switzerland no longer attempting to align itself. You can customize which messages give you pop-ups and which don't. And which pop-ups pause the game and which don't. Air-based strike tactics. Not right now. We need to beat this backlog down before we do anything else. We need to increase our infantry technologies more as well, because we're going to have a lot of infantry. You can see our officers went down again a little bit. It's going up currently, but that's because we're not we don't have any units rolling off the line. It'll take a dip when we have units off the line. Nationalist China has canceled our trade agreement. We don't care. Japan has declared war on their new enemy, Nationalist China, and their other new enemy, Shaanxi, which has been accepted into the Axis. Okay, that's kind of big news. Let's go and look at political map mode and go over to the east and take a look at what's going on over here. Mongolia is a Comintern member here, so we do have I don't care. We do have a little visibility on what's moving around in the front. Now, Manchukuo is a Japanese puppet, so the Japanese Shaanxi is right here, and so the Japanese are going to attack along this front, and chances are very good that they're going to take a significant amount of territory from Nationalist China. I don't particularly care about that at this time. We do have, I should mention this, where is Communist China? Is that these guys? No. Geez, I don't even know where they're at. They'd be up here in the mountains somewhere. That's Communist China right here. So it's not such a bad idea to support Communist China and try and bring them into the Comintern, but they might get wiped out by the Japanese. And if so, then I will have wasted that effort and therefore leadership, and I don't want that. So if they survive, we will start influencing them maybe. Medium Tank Brigade, cool. Bulgaria's canceled our trade agreement. And you see we're topped out on energy here. And, okay, actually, let's look at that. Which means we need medium tank stuff. We don't even have a level 1 yet. So, we're not really doing a great job of beating that down. But we'll see what happens when we hit 1938. 1939, January 1st of 1939 is when the Nazi-Soviet Pact becomes available as a national decision for Germany. And they trigger it, and then we can choose how we're going to respond to it. And we'll see what happens here. And then they can choose to not fulfill the terms of the pact when Poland falls. Sweden, Switzerland. It'd be nice if you could filter those by country, actually. And we're taking a hit on production right now. Let's keep an eye on consumer goods here. Yeah, it's as high as it's going to be. So because we're making more consumer goods than we strictly speaking need, and we're probably making a little more than we need even on top of that. So actually, let's lower this a little bit. Make it about 100. That's good. That will lower dissent. Now that happens relatively slowly. But 5.0%, it's going to tick down to 5.1 here soon. 5.0. So this comes right off your IC. So we want to keep dissent down as much as we can. Now let's not forget that we've got a stack of units here from the Far East that we can actually do stuff with. So, ooh, we got a ton of stuff coming. Alright, let's take care of the technology first. Tactical Air Command, let's get rid of that. We don't need it right now. We've got a lot of stuff here. Put this last one here, and we're going to look at these guys. what do we got here, first of all? More than we need. We'll call that a reserve at the moment. So what we want to do is we want to detach these guys, all these guys, from the unit hierarchy. Let's make sure we don't have like a theater HQ here or anything like that. Let's delete all the useful units. So we'll keep the core level HQs and the actual military units here. And we're going to spin the rest of them back out east. Special Forces Far East, that's a core. We want to keep them. Okay, so these are armies and army groups. 1 army group and 3 armies. We're going to spin these guys out here. We want to strategically redeploy them. If we send them over land, it's going to take them like a year and a half to get there. So, because we don't need those guys. Let's start the clock, and they'll start to move away pretty quickly. Now we will detach all of these from the existing unit hierarchy, and we're going to move them around as need be here. So we want... Yeah, we've got some empty stuff going on here. Move that there. So, looking here. Move this guy here. Yeah, no. I want to strategically redeploy that. I don't necessarily need these here, but it's not a bad idea to have them in the background, because nobody's going to like conduct an amphibious invasion in Gdov here. All right, we've got some more infantry. We'll put one here. Put one here. And do we still have more? Nope. Keep the clock rolling here. We want to hit 1938 before the end of this episode. Tactical pilot training advance. Let's get rid of that. Don't need that right now. And we do have these guys who we do need. Can I put this guy here? Nope. Well, let's put him here instead. We're starting to triple up on the front here. And this isn't necessarily the configuration we're going to go with for the actual war, but right now it's okay. Attack ground crew advance, don't need that. Let's get rid of that. We need 32, we're getting 14. We do kind of want to know when countries are trying to align themselves to our faction. Let's go all spies. How many spies do we have domestically? Good. Whoa. Wow, our spies network is just getting annihilated everywhere. Increase your... Yeah, I want to keep these. Let's look at the prioritization here. Boy, not much. What is this? Ah, that's threat. So the coup in France failed. Let's take a quick look at France, actually. Yeah, a decent amount of communist sympathizers in there. Switzerland, education. Japan has the next Shangji, which is part of their country now. Conquer. Let's take a quick look over there. Yeah, that was these guys right here. So they're right on the border with Mongolia. We're going to let the Mongolians handle that, but... And I think we have a technology that needs to be booted off the bottom of the list. Maybe not. That goes under Industry, Education 2, 1938. We don't want it at the top of the list, but we want it close. June 15th, 1939. That gives us more leadership, and that's really important for us. And it's not that it's so important, it's that it's important and our leadership sucks. So it's for such a major power, especially, and we're taking that major penalty too. Nationalist China has canceled our trade agreement. Industrial efficiency, industrial production, that's awesome. Let's get rid of these off the bottom and take a look at this. Industrial production and industrial efficiency. We can keep going on these, and I'm inclined to. Rocket tests. Yeah, I don't have the luxury of fooling with that right now. Radio detection equipment. 1930. Interestingly, 1936. I'd love to do radar, but frankly, it's not that hard, actually. When we get to 39, we'll think about it. It'd be nice. But we've got too much other stuff to do right now. Sweden, who cares? Let's look at the supply map mode. So our hit on Finland is going to be concentrated here. We don't really have a choice. This is the only place where there's anything resembling actual infrastructure. If we look at the infrastructure map mode, we do not have full visibility on other countries' infrastructure, but Finland is going to be largely wasteland. So we are trucking as fast as we can. Units in force supply. Those are those guys I'm shipping back out east. That I don't have any immediate use for. I may dissolve them, actually. Yeah. Just to free up the leaders. If the leaders are any good. The leadership pool for the Soviets is not great. Nationalist Spain has a next Republican Spain. Okay, so what this means is that the Republican Spanish have lost the Spanish Civil War, as predicted. So that's the end of that. So, in a sense, it might make more sense to not bother with supporting the Spanish Republic. Ooh, planes! Look at that. Let's hit the air map mode and see what we can do here. These are interceptors. And we want to put them in Colm. Looks good. Yep, that looks fine. For the time being. So we actually got something besides infantry off the production line, which is great. What do we get here? Oh, more planes. This is a... Ooh, what do we got here? Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop that. Okay, Nationalist Spain has canceled our trade agreement. Romania has canceled our trade agreement. We don't really care. The Chasan Lake incident. The power struggle between Japan and the Soviet Union occasionally flared into open battle in the Far East. In 1938, the Japanese Imperial Army probed Soviet defenses at Chasan Lake, and fighting lasted several months. The lackluster performance of Soviet forces led to Vasily Blucher being arrested by the NKVD and executed. Well, we don't have any choice. It will hit us pretty hard on supplies, but you notice our supplies are way higher than they were. So, relation to Japan, nothing we can do about that. Let us go to production and crank supplies down to 0 again and lock it there. And we've got something else coming here. We'll put him in Colma 2. We're going to have to reorganize all this stuff. Close air. So, ooh, yeah, we didn't really want to do that. That's okay for now. We need to reorganize this Red Air Force anyway, so... Government nationalizes... Okay, let's take care of the technology first. Fighter ground control advance and Sweden. The government nationalizes the private sector. Our great leader has told the nation that he would no longer accept certain disloyal elements profiting it. Didn't this happen already? I thought this happened already. IC plus 8%. I'll take that. No problem. You see our dissent is down, too, down to less than 1%, which is good. So we can use all the IC we can get. IC wasted, actually. Wasting IC on production. That's impossible. All right, so what else do we want? It'd be nice to make a rocket test site, but we can't do that right now. And we can't do infrastructure, industrial capacity, and aircraft. Okay, so what we can do now is start building medium tank. And what we want is really motorized artillery. But instead we're going to go with the motorized infantry. The movement is 6. What else has a 6 movement? Tank destroyers. We need to make sure we make these guys as reserves too. We really want the combined arms bonus here. Get rid of that. Motorized infantry. I don't have a better alternative right now. So we're going to make... No. Let's do 2 serial runs of 5 parallel runs, and that should kick our production down into let's see, 237. Wow! Okay. Wow, that's a lot of IC. We need them, though, so... Japanese seized the coast of nationalist China. Let's take a look at that. And what that basically means is that the Japanese have seized all the coastal stuff in nationalist China down to about here, and that basically enforces a truce with the nationalist Chinese. What do we got here? Consumer goods. All right, let's take a look at this, actually. So the lower we get this, the better. And our... that should do it for now. We'll go a little bit higher. 83. There we go. And we're in January 1938. Let's take a quick look. We don't have anything we can do here. Let's take another quick look at politics to see if anybody else that's better has become available. No. Stalin. No. Chief of the Army. No. Chief of the Air Force. No. One thing we want to do before we call this episode is get some more infantry in production. We have currently... Is that right that we have no infantry? No, we do still have some, actually, and let's keep going with what we have. So we're going to call this episode here. It is the 22nd of January, 1938. Thank you for watching. Please check out the next episode, which will be coming shortly. Please also subscribe to the channel because we have more content in this vein on the way, and you'll find links in the channel banner to like us on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. And by all means, also check out the blog at strategychronicle.wordpress.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.